Welcome, dear listeners. Today I bring you a tale that begins on the tranquil waters of a fisherman's daily routine and swiftly plunges into the depths of an extraordinary mystery. Imagine a simple catch revealing something so chilling, so unimaginable, that it changes everything. Stay with me as we unravel the story of Jake, the seasoned fisherman, and his most unsettling discovery, a discovery that would soon grip an entire town and set off an investigation unlike any other. What had started like a normal workday changed in mere seconds as seasoned fisherman Jake stumbled upon the catch of a lifetime. He had caught a massive crab, its claws big and sturdy enough to easily snap bone. However, as Jake examined the animal's pincers, his eyes widened. There, in one of its claws, he saw something that made his face pale as a chill ran down his spine. Shaking himself out of his stupor, Jake quickly dialed 911. The police needed to see this. Jake had never seen something like this before in all his years as a fisherman. He had mostly picked his profession because he had lived and breathed the sea ever since he was a young kid. His family were born and bred fishermen, as his father had taught him, as his father had done before him. He had heard tales before, but never like this. He had always taken his father's and even grandfather's tales about the sea with a grain of salt. His grandfather's claim to have once seen a mermaid had told him enough about their credibility. However, when Jake reeled in one of his nets, he knew he would now be in the same boat. If it wasn't for what was in the crab's claw, then for its sheer size. The crab was absolutely massive. It reminded him of one of those mechanical billboards in Japan, but this one was actually alive. It was practically the size of him, if not larger. Its claws were massive, strong enough to snap a bone like one would a twig. Jake knew he had to tread carefully. This was the find of a lifetime. Regardless of his own findings, he would still never believe the old fantastical stories of his grandfather and their ancestors. However, he knew he had to make a picture if he ever wanted anyone to believe him in the future. But first, he had to take a quick photo and send it to his father. He took a selfie with the crab. While waiting for his father's answer, he decided that a simple selfie wouldn't be enough of the crab. There needed to be a picture from every angle. He walked around it, making sure the crab was in the middle of every frame. However, Jake noticed something when he came to the front of the crab. The crab was holding something. Jake frowned, not really sure what it was supposed to be. Then it seemed to click as the blood drained from his face. Where had the crab gotten that? After realizing what it was that the crab was holding, Jake knew that he couldn't treat this as a funny story any longer. This could mean something serious. He tried to think what he should do and immediately grabbed his phone. Mortification went through him while he looked up the photo he had sent to his father. Could it be seen in that photo too? He breathed a sigh of relief as he examined the photo. It wasn't visible. It was good that he had taken a selfie, as his own head had blocked it from view. He was glad because he certainly didn't want to startle his old man with that information. He knew exactly who to call. 911, what's your emergency? The dispatcher asked. How would Jake even be able to say this without incriminating himself? He told the dispatcher what he had found, and after a short silence, his coordinates were asked. The police were on their way with the Coast Guard. It was a relief that they were on their way, and Jake bid goodbye to the dispatcher. He dropped the boat's anchor since all he could do now was wait. However, it didn't seem like a quiet wait was in order. The sun barely pierced the morning fog as police and Coast Guard boats approached, their crews casting doubtful glances at Jake's small vessel. Yet skepticism turned to disbelief as they laid eyes on the massive crab, its claw grotesquely gripping a human hand. The scene set a chilling tone for the unfolding investigation. Initially, officers exchanged skeptical looks, murmuring about possible hoaxes as Jake recounted his discovery with a shaky voice. Their disbelief swiftly transformed into stark shock, however, as they closely inspected the claw, confirming the macabre reality of a severed hand ensnared in the grip of the ocean giant. Amidst the salty sea air, police officers worked meticulously, cordoning off Jake's boat as a crime scene. As the hand was examined, officers noted unique characteristics, a distinct tattoo, an unusual scar, details that promise leads in identifying the victim. These first clues, etched in lifeless skin, whispered silent tales of a life once lived and now mysteriously intersected with the depths of the sea. Amidst the confusion, a glimmering object caught an officer's eye, a ring clasped tightly in the hand's cold grip, engraved with the names Michael Thompson and Marina Thompson. It hinted at a personal story, possibly belonging to the victim, and shifted the investigation's focus to a more intimate angle. This ring, more than a mere piece of jewelry, became a beacon in the murky waters of the case. It not only offered a potential identity for the victim, but also opened a window into his life and relationships, turning it into an essential clue in unraveling the mystery of his death. The quest to find Michael Thompson began with urgency as police officers delved into databases and sifted through public records. Investigations led to the identification of Marina Thompson, potentially the other half of the story etched into the ring. This revelation prompted the police to arrange an interview, hoping she could shed light on the circumstances leading to the grim discovery on Jake's boat. In the quiet precinct, officers prepared for the interview with Marina Thompson, their minds buzzing with questions. They pondered her possible involvement or knowledge, each theory and speculation adding layers to the already complex narrative of the severed hand and its mysterious journey to the sea. In a stark interrogation room, Jake faced a barrage of questions, his voice firm as he recounted the day's events. He vehemently asserted his innocence, his words painting a picture of a routine fishing trip that had turned surreal with the disturbing discovery. The investigators, trained to look beyond appearances, probed Jake's account with a deep skepticism. They dissected his story, searching for cracks and inconsistencies, their eyes piercing as they contemplated possible motives hidden beneath his composed exterior. While nothing directly implicated Jake, his device was kept for further analysis, its digital contents potentially holding unseen clues. Despite the weight of the situation, Jake's resolve to cooperate didn't waver. His eagerness to assist, tinged with the hope of clearing his name, shone through, offering a glimmer of sincerity amidst the murky waters of the investigation. In a small, nondescript room, Marina Thompson sat across from the detectives, her face a canvas of sorrow and confusion as she listened to their questions about her husband. Her distress was palpable, her eyes brimming with tears, unaware of the grim fate that had befallen him. Marina's reaction to the news was one of genuine shock. Her bewildered gaze and trembling hands spoke of a woman confronted with an unexpected and horrifying reality. Throughout the interview, Marina's answers circled back to a lack of information, offering no substantial leads. Her unawareness only served to deepen the enigma surrounding Michael's disappearance and the chilling discovery of the severed hand. After Marina left, the officers huddled, dissecting her every reaction and response. As the sun rose the next day, the story of the massive crab and its gruesome catch had leaked, instantly igniting a media firestorm. Reporters swarmed the small coastal town, their cameras and questions directed at Jake, thrusting him unwillingly into the national spotlight. Headlines blared about Jake's role in the find, drawing a curious and morbid fascination from the public. Reporters, fueled by a lack of solid information, began to speculate wildly. Theories about the origin of the severed hand ranged from the plausible to the absurd, each new hypothesis adding to the growing mythos surrounding the case. Jake, a simple fisherman unaccustomed to such attention, found himself drowning in a sea of cameras and probing questions. Recognizing the precarious nature of the situation, the police offered Jake a stern caution, advising him to remain tight-lipped about specific details of the ongoing investigation. They emphasized the importance of safeguarding the case from unnecessary public scrutiny. With each passing day, the investigation delved deeper into the enigmatic life of Michael Thompson. Troubling facets of his existence emerged, hinting at a complexity far beyond the serene facade of coastal living. One revelation that shook the investigation to its core was Michael's considerable financial woes. Debt, loans, and unpaid bills painted a bleak financial landscape, inviting new questions and doubts about the circumstances leading to his disappearance. Another layer of intrigue surrounded Michael's secret meetings, documented through text messages and phone records. These clandestine rendezvous, previously hidden from the world, hinted at a life filled with hidden agendas and unspoken truths. As the investigation uncovered these secrets, Marina Thompson's role and knowledge in her husband's affairs came under renewed scrutiny. The newfound revelations added a layer of complexity to her involvement in the unfolding narrative. With each revelation about Michael's life, the investigation's story grew more convoluted. The intricate web of secrets, financial struggles, and secret meetings deepened the mystery surrounding his disappearance, leaving the police and the public grappling with a story far from the ordinary. A critical witness stepped forward, bringing fresh information regarding Michael's last known activities and whereabouts, offering a glimmer of hope in the investigation's progress. The witness recounted their memory of seeing Michael in a visibly distressed state, providing a potential timeline for his last known activities and a glimpse into the final moments before his disappearance. This newfound information triggered a decisive shift in the investigation's trajectory. The police embarked on a new direction, pursuing leads and locations previously unexplored, hoping that these uncharted waters would yield fresh clues. With the witness's account in hand, the police began meticulously tracing Michael's steps. They followed the trail of his last known movements, inching closer to the heart of the mystery, one clue at a time. As the police collected and examined more clues, the puzzle pieces slowly began to fall into place. The officers worked diligently, connecting dots and forming a clearer picture of the events that led to Michael's disappearance, hoping that soon they would reach the elusive truth. The investigation took an unexpected turn as divers made a startling discovery at the ocean's depths near where Jake had caught the crab. This crucial evidence promised to shed new light on the mysterious case of Michael Thompson. Divers uncovered remnants of a small boat wreck, revealing a chilling truth. Michael had embarked on a fateful journey into the sea on that stormy night, driven by a heated argument with Marina. Tragically, his boat had succumbed to the tempestuous waves, sealing his fate. With this newfound evidence in hand, the police worked tirelessly to connect the dots, reconciling the witness accounts with the grim discoveries. As the investigation continued, the evidence pointed towards a heart-rending truth. Michael's death was a tragic accident, not a result of foul play. The circumstances surrounding his demise were far from what anyone had initially suspected, painting a somber picture of the sea's unforgiving nature. The investigation made it abundantly clear that Marina was entirely unaware of her husband's fatal journey. In her mind, he had simply left town following their argument, oblivious to the grim fate that had befallen him, leaving behind a void of unanswered questions and lingering guilt. The weight of the past finally became too much for Marina to bear. In a tearful and emotional confession, she laid bare the complexities of her relationship with Michael and the harrowing events that had transpired leading to his disappearance. As Marina recounted her tale, emotions ran high. Her words were a raw torrent of guilt, fear, and heartache, adding a deeply human dimension to the otherwise bewildering and grim narrative that had unfolded. Her revelation left everyone touched by the tragedy. With Marina's confession coupled with the amassed evidence, the investigation's final chapters unfolded. The mystery of the severed hand, the stormy night, and Michael's tragic journey came to an end. The case was closed, leaving behind a haunting story of love, loss, and the relentless sea.